So here we go again. It's only been about 6 months since the new engine went in, and I just put down a $2,500 deposit on a new transmission. Same thing as the engine. It's going to have a really big warranty, last a long time, transferable, and it's going to end up being $6,100 and change after it's installed. 6 months ago I had no debt, and now I've spent $16,000 on this on credit. I've paid some of it down, but not that much. As I've decided each time to keep moving forward with this, I did a lot of thought, and was like, what else could I do? Do I sell this thing? Do I fix it and sell it? Can I do something else? How can I make sure I continue down the same path that I'm on and end up as far as possible in the next year to 5 years? And if the engine and transmission had gone out at the same time, I probably would have just walked away from it. But, in for a penny, in for a pound. I made it all the way to the West Coast, which is a huge blessing. I made it here. I got myself a job. The vehicle is still drivable until I get my new transmission in. Imagine if this would have also happened in Kansas, especially after I had put that new transmission in, I might not have ever gotten out of there. I might have been stuck. It might have been a while. And if I broke down on the road, somewhere in transit, without income, I would have been in such a world of hurt. It's a really big bummer. I'm going to have to trade a lot of hours of my life for the dollars to trade to have this transmission installed. But I'm in a situation where I'm able to do so fairly promptly, and it's just a bummer that I have to take away energy from what we're doing here. But I'm not stopping by any means. I'm just going to keep working harder to get through this faster so I can focus on where I always wanted my time and attention to go to. As I've gone along on this path, I'm still trying to kind of clarify the theme of the channel. I've got a big vision. Some things are kind of blurry. You've probably picked up that the mission is adventure, kindness, and wellness. Currently utilizing my custom 4x4 limo camper creation that I've got to pursue this path. Today is day 86 of no alcohol. I think the real goal for me is to stop drinking forever. I've set a 6-month goal right now, and I'm well on my way. But I don't think I really want to even drink after that 6-month period. It's probably just time for me to put alcohol in my past, and I think that is going to be a bit of a theme of this channel, because I really think I do have some insight that can help people understand their relationship, with alcohol and nutrition and, general well-being through some of my experiences I've had. I do think that it will be, hearing my experience can be really valuable for people who are having challenges with alcohol, or maybe just curious if it's an issue or it has a potential to become an issue for them. I want to really have this be a testament to the improvements that I'm experiencing and continue to experience living an alcohol-free life. Along on that mission of wellness. I'm still in the gym every day, and I've got a really cool portion of this wellness part of the theme that's going to show up here in a little while. Transmission situation just slowed down the pace of everything a little bit, but we're going to get through it. So, my goal with the wellness, I think there's a lot of inspiration and excitement to find in just actually doing this stuff. And it's hard to understand until you get started. But if you see somebody else, that's telling a real story that has some real success, and, you get to see them over the years, just check in. Maybe some of my viewers will only see me, once every 6 months or something. And, hey, look, he's in better shape now. Look, he did it again. Yeah, I stopped drinking. That definitely made a difference. I'm living this healthy life that I'm really going to try to help kind of show what I'm doing for you guys, and give ideas of ways to integrate activity and better, healthier consumption into your lives along the way. So I want to talk about this thing called life design. My most basic understanding of it is that you figure out where you want to go and create the path to get there. And what a better time in a person's life to do that than, at my age. Sadly, I've been divorced for a couple years, don't have any kids, don't have a mortgage. What a great time to create the path that I truly want to experience in my life. Do I want to work smarter or work harder? These amazing things, I spent 7 years living in one of the most desirable and most visited places in the world. Most visited ski slope in the world, definitely. So, that was a really great experience. There was a lot of awesome things about that. Now I'm on the central coast of California, probably the most beautiful area in the state, and just one of the coolest places in the United States. This is very intentional, but I didn't figure out how to make it work in the last place, and I'm not trying to stay here necessarily, but it's a great place to be stuck while I'm figuring out these mechanical issues and developing my path and honing my message and channel to turn it into something that will eventually sustain me and grow as I grow. An important element of life design is that I've really come to acknowledge that time is the most valuable thing in the world. It's the most valuable thing, and everybody has that time. We all have less of it throughout time, and some of us have less altogether. But my time, my creativity, my energy, my skills, the things that I've developed over the years, they're so valuable to me, and they have so much potential to do so much good, both in creating wealth and sustainability for myself, but also to get a good message out to the world, bring a positive influence, and be able to do good things and help make the world a little bit more positive and better and healthier place. So if my time is such an amazing thing that can do all that, but I sell it for dollars, then I lose all of the time, the opportunity cost that I could have put into doing something really cool and really amazing and building something for myself. Instead, I'm just making a little, I'm a small cog in a puzzle, making a little bit of money for somebody else. And there are people out there that have found that path works really well for them, and I'm not hating on you for that if you're there or that person. But for me, I haven't found that path, and I've always had, dreams and visions, and I was never supposed to play the game that society pushes me, the path that society pushes you down, the game that they want you to play. It was never for me. And that's one of the amazing things, that we have at this time, not only with the freedom of being in a developed country and being in the United States of America, but we're at this crazy shift where I grew up in an analog world that has evolved into digital, and my skill set, which started out as an analog skill set, is extremely valuable in the digital world, and that's video production. So if I'm selling all of my hours for dollars to somebody else, and I'm taking away from all of this good that I can do for myself and for others, it seems like I'm doing not only myself, but the others that I could impact, the community, maybe even humanity, a disservice by trading my time for money, just so I can pay some bills, probably never own a home that I really, that's that great, never get ahead, and not retire well. It doesn't make sense. So life design is figuring out how to get to the end goal, whatever that is. And for me, being sustainable, being self-sufficient, being out of debt, a lot of the basic things that I think everybody would like, there are better paths to get to what I want than to do, to go get the 9-to-5 with the 401k and have the suburban house. I was super fortunate to grow up in that environment, and I'm so grateful for it. But I can't reproduce what my parents did for me in the way that they did. I don't know how. It's going to be harder work to make that happen than to create my own path and really attract and bring in the things into my life that I truly believe in, love, and desire. But it takes hard work, it takes discomfort, it takes delayed gratification, and I'm excited that I'm on this path, that I am willing to be uncomfortable and go through these things, and when I have to put down my head and work and just pay my way through a problem like I'm doing now. Designing one's life is something that we rarely think of in this country. I don't know, is that something that people think of in the world? Is this a new concept? I know that it's something that, I'm not going to die fulfilled if I don't pursue this path. And at this point, I know that I can make it happen. I've gone through so much in the past. I've learned so much. I've developed these skills. You know, when things don't work out and you keep going, you keep getting better, you keep figuring things out. And now all these interesting and unique skills and experiences and resilience, it's all packaged together in a way that nobody else quite has. I just have to figure out how to direct it properly. So the theme of adventure, kindness, and wellness, I'm starting to think of really, a life designing life with the theme of adventure, kindness, wellness, something like that. We'll see how it goes. But I just want you to understand what the big picture of this is for those who, maybe need some inspiration to try something new and different. Need to watch somebody picking themselves up from a rough spot and making their way to a really good spot, and showing you it's totally possible for an everyday person to do the things that I'm doing to get healthier, to really learn, redevelop a true belief in self. I didn't understand how much I'd lost that for a long time, and I know that I've got a whole lot to offer to myself and to the world, and I've got really good skills, and I've got amazing creativity, and I'm proudly different than anybody else around. And that's something that maybe it felt weird when I was little, but I'm embracing that now. I am me, and I'm stoked on it. So part of the life design, right now we're doing the adventure limo, we're doing overlanding. I want to really do a whole bunch more of that. This transmission thing has slowed that path a little bit, but we'll be right into it. I'll at least be taking excursions out from San Luis Obispo, where I'm currently working, because there's great off-roading, trails, camping, beaches you can drive on. There's everything really close to here, so it's super cool. But that's just right now. The next phase that happens in a year or two or three, I'm trying to figure out what happens next. I really want to do some international travel. I would love to go and hang out in the Philippines maybe for 3 to 6 months and learn. I'm so good at living on a budget happily now, because I've really removed a whole lot of my material desires. I've started to learn what's important and what's not, and I might not be perfect with it, but I think my level of materialism versus the average American, rich or poor, is like 10% my desire for objects versus the average of whatever everybody else thinks. And that freedom allows you to do things when you don't have to have a lot of stuff, so I would love to go spend some time abroad, and I really feel like, Southeast Asia, the Philippines sounds awesome. Thailand might be a little wild. I don't know if I'm, who knows. I need to do more research. One of my favorite YouTubers is all over the place, all over the world. It's Danny, hashtag got a world to see. Check this guy out. Definitely, he's all over the world. So he's gotten me excited about a few of these things, because I could live abroad for a while. Another thing would be to live on a boat. It's really cheap to moor out, which is basically drop anchor right out here in Avila Beach, which is a few miles down the road from where I'm at right now. I don't know all the details about that. I really don't know if you can live aboard. I don't know anything about it. So it's something I want to learn, because I think it would be pretty cool to be able to live on a boat in a beautiful and cool place. And again, it doesn't have to be here. I'm trying to see different things and experience different things. So I'm only here for, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I'm going to get this transmission going. I'm going to hang out. I have consistent income. I'm working with the company I can transfer with. I do good work for them. There's so many things lined up. They're just good here right now. So until I get past this transmission and pay down a little bit of debt, what a great place to be. 5 miles in any direction, I can be at something that is super content worthy and amazing to just experience, whether I'm producing videos or not. So one of the things that's really important about being out here and doing this the way I am is there are so many elements and factors to creating this, in this creator economy where I'm going to be using YouTube as the foundation for everything. There's so much to it, and there's so much information out there, and it's not a smooth, easy blueprint path or training course. And I really need to be in a place where I am absent of distractions, I'm absent of excessive comfort that makes it easy to not do things. I'm choosing not to engage in pleasure-seeking behaviors, and really am finding a way to focus my energy on this mission, on what I'm doing right here, right now. Shooting videos, designing my life, creating, bringing to fruition that vision of adventure, kindness, and wellness, and writing new chapters of the book of Mike G. I've already spoke about how I've kind of removed a lot of material objects from my life. There's actually a term for this philosophy, a name for it, and it's minimalism. And really kind of the idea behind this is to not own any objects that don't serve purpose or have value. So, like the tools that I have for doing my off-roading, those have a real purpose. My camera equipment, my computer, they're tools. They help me, they help my artistic vision come to fruition. They help me communicate with the world. At the same time, I probably need to go and just get some more generic clothes, because you've seen I have a small handful of shirts and pants I'm wearing, and I'm happy with that. Maybe it's not the best for content creation for people to see, man, he wore the same tank top in 3 different videos here, what's going on, but I get a lot of happiness out of not having that much more than I need. I still think I have excessive comforts and amazing things going for me that a majority of people throughout the world don't. So don't think I'm sitting here saying, oh my gosh, this is so hard. I chose this path. I enjoy it. Once a month I spend $60 on a hotel room. I'm really enjoying that right now because, when's the last time you sat around with lights that you could flip on and not have to worry about battery power, or you were able to take a shower, and be happy about it, or flush the toilet? Like, going without those things, it makes you appreciate the things that we have that you really don't appreciate. And at the same time, these things can lock you down. Having a lease, having a mortgage, you're stuck. You can't be in a situation like me where I'm like, well, I'm going to work for a few more months and get the situation paid off, and the whole time I can be thinking about where do I want to go next, and then I can just go whenever I want to. Once the transmission's out of the shop, at least. I don't know if it would get me across the country right now. So, and even better, being tied in with a company that, I'm able to work if I want to go somewhere that they're at, and they're everywhere. I don't want that to take away my time from this any longer than I have to. But while I need to be working for somebody else, I'm going to utilize it, because it really gives me a lot of freedom in life, flexible schedule, good income, and I can go where I want to go and keep doing this. So another really important philosophy that I've been learning about and really trying to embrace and develop within my own life is Stoicism. The basis of Stoicism is that we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Always keeping our cool, seeing challenges not as, something that victimizes us or something we hope to be rescued from, but something to overcome and use to develop virtue and become better, stronger, more resilient versions of ourselves on the other side. Just always keeping your cool. Now, easier said than done, but even being conscious of this and realizing how valuable these virtues of the Stoics can be for having a happy, successful, fulfilling life, even through hardship, it's really something that I've come to embrace and want to continue to learn more about. I do listen to a lot of the Daily Stoic podcast and check out his, his shorts and reels too, so I might pop that up here. At the end of the day, I think this situation, this $6,000 unplanned problem with my transmission, is a wonderful opportunity for me to practice and develop virtue and go head on into a challenge and come right through it, and be better for it on the other side. So, this could be something that could really be discouraging to some people. And honestly, I think I got past it pretty quick and was just like, come on, let's go. What's next? Let's get this. because this, in the grand scheme of things, when I look at where I was 6 months ago, I had no idea I was going to be here. I had no idea how much work I was going to put into the Suburban to get it to this point. I had no idea the challenges I was going to run into not starting work where I thought I was going to go to, going another 5 hours up the coast, a completely different direction than I planned, and everything's fallen into place. I've got amazing places to stay. I've got amazing content to create. I've got a job that's paying me over $40 an hour. I've got freelance work that's paying me between $30 and $50 an hour. I'm not getting rich, but I'm not paying rent, and I'm going to be able to get through my mechanical issues pretty quick. And at the whole time, even if I'm not able to focus full-time on my content, especially when I'm doing some extra work to pay off this transmission, I'm always going to be building this, because that is the whole dream. It's the whole reason I'm here. And even though I'm getting hit with a pretty monumental challenge, I am not going to let something that is relatively insignificant compared to the things I've been through before and things that other people go through all the time, I'm not going to let that derail me. All I'm going to let it do is build a little bit more character and virtue, work through it, and on the other side of it, I know I'm going to be so much farther in 6 months than I ever imagined, just like I am now. I know that the Mike from 6 months ago, if that version of me was able to look forward into the future and see where I'm at and what I've done since then, he would be super proud, super stoked. And I know that the version of me 6 months in the future is going to be in an amazing place that this current version of me will be super proud of too. So I'm not giving up. I'm not slowing down. This doesn't all make sense yet, but it's going to. And someday this is going to turn into something awesome. I know it's going to be sooner than later, but I'm just going to keep trucking and it's going to happen.